Look at your morning routine. You wake up, eyes barely open, and the first thing you do is reach for that glowing rectangle. You swipe, you scroll, you react. An angry email from your boss makes your heart race. A political rant on your feed makes your blood boil. You haven't even stepped out of bed, yet your mind is already fighting a war that isn't yours. We think we are consuming content, but the brutal truth is, the content is consuming us. We call this modern life, but comfort has become our carefully constructed cage. What if I told you that this digital exhaustion, this endless loop of anxiety you feel in your chest right now, isn't a new phenomenon created by Silicon Valley? What if the original algorithm was written over 2,000 years ago, not in code, but in the very fabric of human consciousness? They called it karma, but forget the mystical nonsense you've heard. Karma isn't a cosmic judge sitting on a cloud, tallying your sins. It is a strict, undeniable behavioral algorithm. It's the ultimate social media feed. The more you interact with anger, the more your reality populates with enemies. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to access the root directory of your mind, debug this broken operating system, and finally stop feeding the algorithm that is keeping you trapped. I know exactly how heavy that exhaustion feels. For years, I was running on the exact same treadmill. I was optimizing complex systems, analyzing data, trying to map out global strategies, and figure out how to capture attention in this noisy world, while entirely losing my own. I remember sitting in gridlocked traffic, staring at the red taillights, gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white. My mind was racing through 100 different disastrous scenarios about a project that hadn't even launched yet. I was completely consumed by a phantom reality. Just like you, I was trapped in the matrix of my own making. We are all walking around like open tabs on a browser, draining our battery on background processes that serve absolutely no purpose. We treat our minds like an endless scroll. Have you ever noticed what happens when you accidentally click on a video of a street fight or a political argument? Suddenly, your entire feed is flooded with hostility. Your timeline becomes a war zone. Your brain operates on the exact same mechanism. The mind is a faulty operating system running on ancient hardware. Every time you engage with a stressful thought, you are liking it. You are telling your internal algorithm, yes, give me more of this panic. Show me more of this inadequacy. We are actively curating our own suffering without even realizing it. We are the architects of our own burnout, feeding the machine with every reaction. It's a brutal cycle that feels impossible to escape because the system is designed to keep you scrolling through your own misery. Think about the simplest tasks. You are washing the dishes, standing right there at the sink, feeling the warm water on your hands. But where is your mind? It's not in the kitchen. It's rehearsing an argument you had with a coworker 3 years ago, or it's projecting a catastrophic financial ruin that hasn't happened. You are physically safe, yet chemically, your body is experiencing severe trauma. Your cortisol is spiking because your internal algorithm is force-feeding you content that you unknowingly subscribe to through your attachments. I had to hit a wall to see this clearly. I was building these intricate digital strategies, analyzing how power moves across the globe. Yet I had zero authority over the space between my own ears. That was my turning point. I realized that karma is not a mystical ledger of good and bad deeds. It is simply cause and effect. It is the raw data of your habits. If you constantly react with irritation, you are programming your psychological algorithm to spot irritation everywhere. You become a magnet for the exact things you despise. It's a flawless, self-sustaining feedback loop. And just like any loop, it requires your continuous input to survive. If you stop clicking, the algorithm starves. But stepping away from the screen of your mind is the hardest thing you will ever do, because the app is designed to make you think it's your entire world. To understand how to break this code, we have to look at the ultimate hacker of human consciousness, Siddhartha Gautama. But do not picture a serene, untouched deity floating above it all. Picture a man pushed to his absolute psychological breaking point. He was a human being, agonizingly desperate for answers, sitting alone in the dirt. And right there, he faced the ultimate boss battle against a force called Mara. In ancient texts, Mara is depicted as a terrifying demon, an external lord of illusion who sent armies of monsters and seductive visions to break Siddhartha's focus. But let's translate that into our modern reality. Mara wasn't a monster hiding in the shadows. Mara was the algorithm. Mara was the personalized feed of Siddhartha's deepest fears, his past regrets, and his most primal desires. Mara was the voice in his head saying, "You are a failure. You abandoned your family. You will never find the truth. Give up and go back." Sound familiar? That is the exact same voice echoing in your mind when you stare at the ceiling at 2:00 a.m., heart pounding. It's the voice of the ego, the glitchy operating system, trying to maintain its relevance by keeping you in a state of constant panic. The ego feeds on your reaction. When Mara unleashed storms of arrows, the texts say they turned into lotus petals before striking the Buddha. Why? Because he refused to react. He refused to click the bait. He didn't put up a shield or fight back. Fighting back would have meant engaging with the post, boosting its engagement metrics in his mind. He simply sat there and watched the notification fade away. He understood that any emotional response, fear, anger, even desperate hope, was just fuel for Mara's machine. The internal war you are fighting right now, the stress, the burnout, the crushing weight of expectations. It is a carefully curated illusion designed by your own mind to keep you engaged. You are fighting phantoms. Think of it like watching a terrifying horror movie on Netflix late at night. Your heart rate is up. You are sweating. You are terrified. But the moment you remember you are sitting on your couch, staring at a screen, the terror vanishes. The movie is still playing, but it has lost its power over you. The simulation only works if you believe it is real. Siddhartha understood this deeply. He didn't fight Mara. He didn't argue with his anxiety. He didn't try to violently suppress his thoughts. Fighting the algorithm only gives it more data to use against you. It signals to the system that the threat is real and requires more processing power. Instead, he did something revolutionary. He simply observed. He looked at the chaos, the fear, and the doubt, and he essentially said, "I see you, Mara. I recognize your code." That was the moment of ultimate liberation. He broke the feedback loop. He stopped funding the internal war. The question isn't how to destroy the algorithm. The question is how to stop being its most active user. How do you step out of the feed when the feed is happening inside your own head? How do you log off from your own ego when it's the only operating system you've ever known? This is the exact threshold where true freedom begins. It is terrifying because you have to let go of the identity you built around your stress. But it is the only way out of the matrix. Here is the ultimate cognitive shift, the karmic debugging you need to apply right now. Listen to me very carefully. You are not the doer. You are not your thoughts. You are the space where the feed happens. The anger that arises when you read that email, that is just a push notification. The anxiety about tomorrow, that is just an auto-playing video. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to engage. The moment a stressful thought enters your mind, your default setting is to grab it, analyze it, and fight it.
Stop. Step back.
Treat that thought exactly like a sponsored ad for a product you don't want. Just let it scroll past. This is the ancient practice of mindfulness, stripped of the incense and the robes. It is hardcore, practical mental engineering. The next time you feel the tension rising in your chest, do exactly what Siddhartha did. Acknowledge it. Say, "I see the anger. I see the anxiety." Label it, but do not interact with it. By doing this, you are effectively cutting off the dopamine supply to your ego. You are starving the algorithm. It will be uncomfortable at first. Your mind will glitch, begging you to react, because it's addicted to the drama. Let it glitch. Breathe through the discomfort. Over time, the algorithm resets. The karmic cycle breaks. Your mind transforms from a chaotic battleground into a silent, impenetrable fortress. You stop being a captive user of your own mind, and you finally become the administrator. The code is yours to rewrite. It is time to wake up. Start today. Watch the thoughts, but do not click. You hold the power to unplug from the simulation anytime you choose. Remember, every time you choose observation over reaction, you are rewriting your source code. You are dismantling the karma that has kept you stuck in the loop of exhaustion. The matrix relies on your unconscious participation. The moment you become the watcher, the system collapses. The peace you are looking for isn't a destination. It is the space you create when you stop fighting the ghosts in your feed. Step out of the loop.